Hello, everybody. I'm Azura, and I'm at LA Comic Con. Unofficially, I would say, how old am I now? God, it's almost 17 years now. Well, I am a nerd supreme. I always have been. My dad was a weirdo, and apparently that's hereditary. I drew my first dragon at the age of 2.5. Even though my mother thought I was going to eat the pen, my dad was the one who had to say, no, let her try to, see what she does. But yeah, always been interested in fantasy. Always was that kid hiding in the corner, the weirdo who was just nose deep in fantasy books and drawing fantasy things. And so on and so forth until about, I think, the beginning of high school. And then I actually got introduced to anime on a more serious note and not just Pokemon, DBZ, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, it was meant to be. I make them, and I suffer for it. No animals were harmed in the making of these costumes, except this one. First cosplay I would This was back in middle school, beginning of middle school. I was Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. And this was way before EVA foam and Warbler and Wonderflex and all of those things were a thing. So I ended up making the armor out of plastic binders, the flexible ones, and fake leather and a bunch of other things that I just was able to find. So, yeah. Latest cosplay. I'm actually in the middle of a cosplay that's supposed to be done for tomorrow. I don't know if that counts, but I'm going to be doing an extremely extravagant, embellished redesign of Yennefer from The Witcher 3. And that's for the most recent finished cosplay. I did a Frankenstein, which wasn't as glorious as some of the things I like to do, but still really fun. I think that, as somebody who got bullied terribly as a kid, went through the whole ugly duck phase into being much heavier in college and then having to lose that, the cosplay world at its essence is a place for those of us who don't quite fit in other places. It's a sanctuary, a haven. It ideally, even though I've seen things kind of working against it, it's supposed to be inclusive to everybody. And it's a place that those of us who don't belong elsewhere can belong. So that's the main thing, honestly, and that's why I try to keep pushing for people to cosplay, even if they don't think they have any talent, even if they don't know how to craft, even if they want to buy something off the internet. It doesn't matter. Cosplay is quite literally for everybody, and nobody has the right to tell anybody else that what they're doing is not cosplay. There, unfortunately, now that cosplay and anime and a lot of the more niche nerd communities and interests are becoming more mainstream, it's also bringing in a lot of technically the toxic behavior I think was always there. It just wasn't as prevalent. But there's just, people are getting into it for the sake of being popular or wanting to be popular, and it's become a competition in that sense, and it is diverging attention away from what cosplay should be, which is, again, a place where you can be yourself, have fun, be somebody else, and be able to flourish in that way. And now there are definitely toxic elements to it that kind of make it not so safe anymore in that aspect. I now only do cosplay, or more like the costume designing part of it. Prior to that, I was a graphic designer in the industry for a while, and as a lot of people I think know at this point, graphic design, which is, logo design, banners, flyers, website design, things like that, it's not quite the same as art. It can be, but it's not quite the same. And I, as an artist, was really missing that core element that I grew up with and that the thing that fulfills me. So at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? I have friends who are doing this professionally who get to make their own stuff, and I might as well just make it work, even if it's a labor of love. I'm a Narutard. I admit it. One of my cosplays was Pain from Naruto Shippuden, so that's one. I love Shingeki no Kyojin, which is Attack on Titan. I guess outside of anime, I have to say I really, really love open world games like Skyrim and The Witcher and things like that. So I guess that's kind of a fandom in and of itself, just based on the aesthetic and the style of gameplay. Don't quote me on this because I'm not entirely sure yet, but oh, actually, no, that's a lie. I do know. I'm going to be doing the succubus from The Witcher 3 just for a fun shoot. I'm going to be reusing pieces from other costumes that I've had, so it'll be a quick little thing. Not like a huge build or anything, but it'll still be fun to do. We'll get to go out in the woods and run around, you know, pretend to be a goat, so to speak. Don't let anybody dictate what cosplay is, what it should be, other than the fact that it's for everybody, it's inclusive. You have just as much a right to be here as anybody who's cosplay famous or otherwise, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You belong here just as much as the rest of us. Social media, Instagram is Azura Cosplay Official, Azura. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook as well, and those two are just Azura Cosplay. This is Azura once again at LA Comic Con. Hope you guys are having an amazing night. Have a great one, and follow your fandom.
Hi, this is Aaron Ashmore, and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe like now. Oh, and have fun and follow your fandom.